maybe we don't need to talk about sex with everyone. Porn is not real. What you see in porn is
Do you think better sexual education in not just schools but for adults as well can help improve this entire scenario?
and one thing that always infuriated me was the amount of misinformation that's there on social media about women's health in particular.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes. Baby, you think a little too.
Hey guys, today on this episode of the CNTC show, we have Dr. Tanya. She is a medical doctor, an author, and a content creator. Her book is coming out very, very soon. And today in this episode, we had a very, very fun conversation about how she gained about 500,000 followers on Instagram and a lot more, how she manages her job, being an author, being a content creator. बहुत कुछ है, बहुत amazing conversation है. She had this conversation from the US, so very, very special episode. Do look out for this one. Hey Tanya, welcome to the CNTC show. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well and very hungover, but well. How are you?
I'm so sorry. Like I'm just repeating this again, but I'm so sorry for getting you on a call. First of all, happy 5th month anniversary with your partner. So happy and so nice to see you glowing and not in India. You are in the US. So how did that happen? We'll first touch on that. But yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It doesn't feel like 5 months. It feels like the wedding happened yesterday. But yeah, I
Right.
suppose that's life in Corona times. You don't realize when the year ends. But yeah, I moved to the US because it's a very boring story, really. My husband, he runs a company out of the US, and मैं घर
Mm-hmm.
पे खाली बैठने की कोशिश कर रही थी because in between working as a doctor, working as a content creator, studying for more exams, and then also trying to write a book, I was this close to giving up on everything. So I thought,
Okay.
you know what, we were going to do long distance marriage for a bit. So I was like, if he's moving, I might as well just pack up and move for a bit. So yeah, that's literally it. I'm here to take a break and write
Mm-hmm.
and just breathe for a bit.
Wow. Good air you're breathing. I'm glad you didn't say that in India because oh my god, the pollution levels are through the roof for us here. But you said that you're writing now, which is really interesting because when I was preparing for this podcast, I was like, how do you become a writer? Like, matlab, is there like one day that okay, now I'm a writer, I'm gonna write a book. How does that transition even happen?
I have a really dumb answer to this. I don't know because because the publishing house approached me and they were like, "Hey, we like your content. Do you want to work on a book with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. It's always been my dream to be a writer, and I don't have to do anything for this except write." So
Right.
yeah, that's that's literally how it went.
You are
I was
like you're
playing
very, very
badminton.
honest. I mean, somebody would have cooked up like a very big story that okay, one night I was sitting on my laptop and just one inspiration hit, but thanks for giving a direct answer.
I mean, listen, people are going to find out one way or another. So I might as well be honest. I was genuinely playing badminton and I got an email and I was like looking at my watch and then I see the email and they're like, "We like your work. Do you want to write?" I was like,
Wow.
sure. I wanted to be a writer when I was younger. So this works out.
Your reels are just so good. Not just reels, but your content in general is amazing. I mean, I also discovered you while my scrolling frenzy on Instagram. I was like, oh, this is really cool content. And once I started learning more about your content, I realized that these are things that probably not a lot of people are talking about. And I always wondered whether that was a planned move as a great content creator and strategist, that yes, there's a void in the market that nobody is talking about sexual health, or was it something that you've always been passionate about and it seemed like the obvious path?
I think so. Both my parents are doctors, they're fertility
Mm-hmm.
specialists, which means sex and sexual health is a very routine conversation in my house. So I always knew I was going to go down the fertility line or something related to all of this, but it was never very fixed. I knew I wanted to pursue gynecology. And one thing that always infuriated me was the amount of misinformation that's there on social media about women's health in particular. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of just sprouted off from there that somebody needs to talk about this. I have the qualifications and the actual scientific education to talk about this, unlike a lot of influencers um, who talk out of their ass completely. So I thought, let's address some of this stuff. And
Right.
I think that's where it came from, as opposed to being a very well thought out strategy.
But no, that is very cool, because when you figure out that nobody's talking about it and then making content, which is now I'm sure helping a lot of people, is really cool. Is your book about this as well?
Yeah, so it's like those yellow books that come with Dash for Dummies,
Mm-hmm.
maybe learning German for dummies or engineering for dummies. There's a
Right.
series of yellow books that come out. I want to make this a sex ed for dummies, like very basic, simple stuff that everybody needs to know about your bodies. I think I'm labeled a sex educator quite often, but I'm actually a body literacy activist, and I'm more about learning about your body as opposed to just learning about sex, because everybody has sex. You understand a little bit of it, but we don't understand our bodies enough. So I think that's what my book is focused on at the moment. But as I have learned, your book turns out completely different to what you thought it will
Plan.
be. Yeah, it might change, but this is what it's looking like at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna try and juice out some deets about the book. Something which has never been talked about on social media. I need something special that I can make a clickbait out of once the book releases.
I wish I had some fodder to give you. I have nothing to give you. I'm so sorry.
What is motivating you to write that book like these days? You must, I mean, it must be a continuous process, right? कि अच्छा एक chapter लिखा and then you're still like reading more and researching more. Like, what's the backing force? क्या push कर रहा है हर रोज for you to open your laptop and write again?
So you would imagine that's how a book journey is supposed to go, right? You look up stuff, you research it, and then you sort of contextualize your content around it. For me, it was more like, okay, these are the mandatory things I need to talk about. I made a list.
Okay.
And then I just started writing about those. So I have a cluster of articles that I have written about different topics that I have to stitch together, which is making it quite challenging. But I think everybody has their own way of doing it. And for me, what it's been is that there is so much bullshit. Like, there is just so much bullshit on the internet about genitals and bodies that I wake up every day and then I smack my head in the wall about 5 times and I'm like, why is this out there? I need
Damn.
to address this and talk about this and just like have more people with authentic information engaging in this. And I think that's how it works for me.
I know, very, very bad question to ask a writer, but where are we on the book writing journey? Like, how much of it is done and when will we get to actually see the book?
My editor will kill me if I tell you the answer to this, because I'm so behind on my deadline.
Okay. This is why I was very, very afraid of asking this question. Like, okay, just caution, like, approach carefully. Okay. On that note, I really want to understand. So you've been creating content consistently, right? I was just scrolling through almost for the last 1.5 years. It's been like consistent, constant content and content. And now you're not practicing for some time because of you not having a license in the US. How is your life different? Like, is it like, does it feel like a good, well-deserved break, or are you like waiting to just get back into the hospital, that zone, and just enjoy the everyday hustle of that?
I love social media, but the hospital is my home. I thrive in that environment, and I don't really know how to work from home. So every day I wake up and I'm like, "Arey, abhi to 7 baje, abhi bahut time hai sone ke liye." Then I go back to bed, which is not wonderful as you can guess.
Okay.
So I think it's taking some time to figure out the nitty-gritties of it, but yeah, I really enjoy just working all the time. It sounds like a toxic trait, but I really enjoy working all the time, and yeah, that's it.
No, that's fair. I mean, I love working, so not toxic to me at all. Otherwise, I'll just go into a crisis mode if I start calling it toxic every day. But one thing which you said is that the conversation around sex was very like people used to talk about sex in your house. How do I start that conversation? Like, I come from Rohtak, which is a small town. My parents fairly open in how they let us live our lives, but we really don't talk about certain stuff, sex being one of them. More than that, funny observation. I think everybody must have seen this at least once. When I talk to sex about about sex with my friends, people just lower their tone. So, sex about, like there's a sudden, like, people who lowered their tone. I'm like, why is this happening? How do you start this, especially like in casual friend circles which you're not very close with, or at home?
I have a slightly controversial answer to this, which is that maybe we don't need to talk about sex with everyone. Um, and sort of the thing I draw a parallel with is, do you talk about your poop with everybody? You talk about with close friends, maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe your partner.
Mhm.
But it's not that you would go up to a casual, not very close friend and be like, dude, I had a great shit this morning. Like, it's not, there are certain things that we just don't discuss, and it's not because, I don't know, sex is disgusting or whatever. Some people just don't, private things can be private for some people. With
Right.
that said, I'm not trying to say we shouldn't talk about sex. We definitely talk a lot more about sex, but I don't think it's a conversation we need to be having in every space. That sounds counterintuitive coming from me, but that's what I believe. And I think a great way of initiating this conversation is to not label as sex talk. Talk about bodies. We all have bodies. We all have weird observations about our bodies. And a great way to segue into this conversation is talking about some stupid thing that you have in your body that is really annoying and makes no sense. And then just gently segue from there, test the waters, see how it goes. Because let's be honest, it's a very taboo conversation in most
It
places.
is.
So jumping the gun is not the best idea. I don't know. I just believe we should take it a little bit slower in terms of having this conversation.
That makes a lot of
It's a very
sense.
boring answer. Sorry.
No, I think it's a very unique take, because like I was expecting that you'd say like, here are 3 steps to start this conversation at home, but I'm glad that you you have given me a very interesting take on this, because अभी तक मैं सोच रहा था कि यार कुछ गड़बड़ है जो मेरे घर पे नहीं हो रहा है. And then you start thinking negatively that why is it not happening at your house? Is something wrong in how you think, how people around you think? But I think this makes a lot of sense, especially for me, that not all conversations need to be. I mean, even work. I don't talk about work with so many people, and so many topics I never talk about, but we never be like, oh, let's start a conversation around work. So I think that's a very, very interesting take. And content is something that I breathe and live every single day, right? Like for the last 10 years, I've been into content. How did you get into content? आपकी क्या story है?
बहुत boring story है यार.
आपकी स्टोरीज
Okay,
बोरिंग नहीं है,
so
आपको लग रहा है बोरिंग है. आप हर स्टोरी है मेरी स्टोरी. You are doing so many things, writing a book, content creator, like a full-time doctor, now flown to the US, enjoying like good air there. I think that's like a luxury thing now because it's so polluted. कुछ भी boring नहीं है. So I think I'm gonna remove that from the rest of the answers.
okay, बहुत interesting story है. So I was living in the UK and I was using a menstrual cup. This is back in 2017. उस समय इंडिया में इतने आराम से menstrual cups नहीं मिल रहे थे. And every time I was coming back, I was just like preaching about it. I was like, बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ है भाई, तुम भी कर लो, तुम भी कर लो, तुम भी कर लो. Everybody I was meeting, I was like, you have to use a cup. Which
Right.
meant that every time I was coming back, I was essentially smuggling in large quantities of menstrual cups from the UK to India. So I'd be carrying like 10 cups in one suitcase.
Okay.
and just like handing them out to my friends who wanted them. So a lot of I kind of developed a reputation about being a cup carrier almost. So a lot of people would randomly ask me about it, that how do they work and stuff like that. And when I mean a lot of people, I mean my friends and people I know. So it was World Menstrual Hygiene Day and 2019, and because my parents are doctors, we have uterus models lying around the house. There was one model lying around there, and I was like, menstrual hygiene day. Let's talk about this. So I just made like a short explainer video on my personal Instagram and I put it up on my stories, and my friends really loved it. They were like, "You need to make this public and just put it out there in a public forum." So I was like,
Right.
"Okay, cool, I'll do it." So I made like a teeny tiny Instagram account and I put up the videos there and told my friends to follow me. I got like 50 followers. And it was very sweet and very cute. And I was like, listen, if I have this out there, I might as well do something with it. So I started putting out like sporadic bits of content, and like just I didn't understand how Instagram works. So I was putting out these 20-minute long videos which weren't performing well for very obvious reasons. And I was like, okay, whatever. This seems like a lot of effort. There's too much editing. At that time, I was also shuttling between India and the UK. So I was giving my licensing exams so I can work as a doctor in the UK as well,
Right.
which meant that I was doing 3 months in India, 3 months in the UK, 3 months in India, 3 months in the UK, which meant that I wasn't able to dedicate a lot of time to it anyway. I generally put up a lot of stories. Like I Instagram the ever-loving shit out of my life. So stories and all were working, but I wasn't able to really create content. So I thought if this is a format that works for me, I'll stick to it. And I went to a conference in January 2020, and I thought I'll cover this conference on my stories and meet more people. And it's just interesting. It's a good way to connect with younger doctors because these conferences are full of really old people. So I think that's when I really started getting into it, and I was like, if I'm doing this, I might as well properly do it.
Right.
And I think my content creation journey properly started in 2020 then, and then the pandemic hit, so it was golden time for all creators.
Oh my God, yes. What was that one point in your journey जब ऐसे फट गई थी चीजें, like, or also is this the same teeny tiny account that is now not so teeny tiny? Okay, so
Indeed.
50K to now more
It used
than
to have a it used to have a very interesting name. It was originally called Uterosaurus Rex because the Tyrannosaurus Rex is my favorite dinosaur, and it's a long story, but I was like, I'm going to make this name. I
Okay.
just come back from Oxford, so everybody was nerdy around me. यहाँ आके everybody's like, ये कैसा नाम है? इसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. इसकी spelling क्या है? So at some
Okay.
point I was like, okay, we'll have to put on a more catchy name
cuterous.
that's also easier to spell.
Nice.
And yeah, then that account grew.
Very interesting. Was it like that? एक ऐसे एक मोमेंट आता है ना सब क्रिएटर के लाइफ में कि एक रील एकदम 1 मिलियन व्यूज हो जाते हैं, ऐसा था या फिर was it like धीरे 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 करके?
अब ऐसे रील्स के बारे में नहीं बात करो तो लगता है कि डायनासोर टाइम की बात कर रहे हैं. मैं डायनासोर टाइम में मैंने कंटेंट क्रिएशन शुरू किया था, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है, बिकॉज रील्स weren't a thing back then. I started with carousel posts and short videos. I mean, when I really got into it, I can't tell you the one post that did it, but because I was doing like content creation every day, I was putting out something new every single day. I think it was a steady incline until it suddenly went up at 6,000 followers. I went to bed at 6,000 followers. I woke up to 10K the next day. I don't know how it happened.
Wow.
And then from then, it was just like boom, 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 10K, new 10K every month. And from there, it was 100K every month. So the first part of 2021 was really intense. I went from 100K in January to, I think it was 400K in April or something like that. Pretty intense.
Wow, that is insane. Crazy. And कुछ ऐसे regular life में फर्क आते हैं when you get to like a level where people must start recognizing you, right? So like at that stage, does it affect your personal life at all?
I live in Allahabad when I'm in India, which means nobody knows me. Sometimes I think it's happened maybe once in Allahabad that somebody has recognized me, but say if I'm going to a city like Delhi or Mumbai, then people recognize me, and it's at this point it's really exciting because it's happened maybe a grand sum of 20 times in my whole life.
Right.
But I imagine for people who are actually content creators who've gone big, it must be a very interesting feeling. I don't know how it feels.
नहीं नहीं ओके नो आई मुझे पता है क्या जानना है, मुझे जानना है कि do you want this like do you want this feeling where you if you go to a Starbucks like 8 on 10 people in the Starbucks know you?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? That sounds fun.
Oh dude.
It just
Okay.
hasn't happened to me, so I don't know how to contextualize it.
No, but I think that's we are going to what do you call it? What do you call it? Manifestation. You're gonna manifest this thought into one day. Okay, no, but
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
this is interesting. How are you managing so many things back home? अभी तो फिर भी चलो you're not practicing, but still like practicing तो बहुत hectic होता है यार. आप कैसे manage कर रहे थे?
I think I had a very nice advantage, which is that I was working with my parents for my parents' hospital. So I had the liberty to choose my hours a lot of ways.
Got
Like
it.
I could choose when I'm doing a night or when I'm doing a day, and we could work it around. So I think that gave me a lot of freedom. And then also I found that for me, content creation was very easy because I know what I'm talking about. I talk about it day and night anyway. And you just have to record a 1 minute video. The only thing that is painful for me is the editing stuff.
Right.
So hospital तो routine में है ही है. एक maybe 20 minutes लगेंगे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सब कुछ करके एक reel बनाने में. You know what you're talking about. I literally just sit in front of a camera and I blab. I don't script and I don't work on anything, which becomes a real big problem if I'm working with an editor because they want the script and I'm like, ये तो आता ही नहीं है मुझे. So,
Oh damn.
so because of that, I feel like I had a flow to it, which is like, say, at the end of a working day at the hospital, we have a lot of paperwork to go through. So with this paperwork, it's not just me that has to do everything. I have to do stuff. I have to hand it over to somebody. They do their stuff, then they bring it back to me. So in that while that they're going and doing their stuff, I go to the OT. I quickly film a reel,
Okay.
and in the car I'll edit my video. हो गया कितनी देर लगी?
Wow. अभी आप करते हो क्या? Like, do you now batch record and plan and everything is just laid out in a functional manner, or is it still today I'm going to talk about this and let's record a reel?
I've been told to do that, and I'm really trying to get into it. But honestly, with the move and just my life has been full of so many transitions right now that I'm just not able to get back into the space where I can creatively put out content. So I'm just giving myself some time, and I think I'll have to start doing batch because I don't know. That's what everybody says you're supposed to do.
I mean, personally,
We'll see.
yeah. I mean, because we work with a lot of brands, we just we have like a month long of content just sitting in a folder. Personally, also, I have
Neat.
currently I have almost 18 or 19 reels that are just sitting there and will get uploaded because you have a busy life. I know you find it boring, but you have a really exciting. Let's move from here to there. If you like to travel, I love to travel, right? So I'm taking a flight almost every week. सो बैच कर लो, इतनी लाइफ सुखी हो जाएगी ना, आपको इतना मज़ा आएगा कि ओह आज कुछ करना ही नहीं, आज आई डोंट हैव टू टेक आउट 20 minutes, आई जस्ट हैव टू ओपन माई फोन, hit like upload, and it saves a lot of time. Okay, I have a rather serious question, and this is something which I was just reading online and I felt I have to ask you. There are a lot of assaults and crimes that go on in our country. Do you think better sexual education in not just schools but for adults as well can help improve this entire scenario, or are they like completely exclusive to each other?
I think they're definitely linked to each other. I don't think this is a exclusive situation, but we have more than enough evidence to back up the fact that better sexual education and better education in terms of rights and in terms of just stuff that like violations and things of that sort leads to lower rates of crime, leads to lower rates of diseases that are linked with it. For example, there's a really good program that they have set up in Kenya where they teach young boys about consent, and they teach young people, not just specifically gendered, about diseases and the kind of things that you can transmit with sex. And they've noticed, I think, a 3-fold reduction in the number of sexual violations that happen in terms of assaults, in terms of rapes, in terms of violence as well. And they've also noticed, I don't remember the exact stat, but they've noticed a drop in the number of HIV cases they're getting. So I think the idea behind any kind of change really starts with mass education. And the minute you can sensitize people to these issues, they understand how this can impact another person. And, you know, we've treated sex as something so taboo. And again, I don't mean that we need to discuss it in every sphere, but we've treated it as something so taboo that we hesitate to discuss it with our closest friends.
Correct.
And something that's a very routine part of life. So, if we were to make it a more open conversation where people can get a lot of their questions addressed, I feel like it is going to lead to a massive change. But how we get about to doing this is a question.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think schools, did you read the latest CBSE news, CBSE's paper where it was like a really, really sexist question and just something that straight up comes out of like 80s or 90s. Do you think it's something which the like us as consumers and regular Indians have to improve on, or does it have to come from the top, like from the government?
I think money is a big factor in leading change. So the minute you start investing money into, and when I mean you, I mean we as consumers at large, when we start investing our money into things we actually believe in, it automatically leads to policy level change. It's a very small step that everybody can take. For example, a very good example of this is the Stop Sucking campaign, which is the campaign that was aimed to ban the use of plastic straws or to eliminate single-use straws essentially. And that thing went viral. It did so well. So many people learned about it that in India now we have, in most restaurants, we don't get single-use plastics anymore. We get bamboo straws, we get bamboo spoons, we get biodegradable styrofoam boxes. I mean, that's not actually styrofoam, it's some other technology that I don't know about. But they're entirely biodegradable. I haven't seen that change in the US. There's massive plastic consumption here. But in India, in the UK, it was such a good initiative and it was such a small step. We just have to tell the people at the store, don't give me a plastic straw, I'm carrying my own straw. And look at the massive impact it's had on the world, which is putting your money where your thoughts are. You just have to invest in a 100 rupees ka steel ka straw, carry it in your purse. Literally, that's it. So in that way, if you start investing your money into things you believe in, and people see that, okay, if you fuck up, you won't get money. And if you do well, you will get money. It's as simple as that.
That makes a lot of sense. I see most teenagers, I mean, especially when I was a teenager, I was lucky enough to have doctors and my sister who taught me like a bunch of things. But what would you, as a doctor and a big sister, just a couple of pieces of advice for people in the age group of 13 to 20, and especially these are the kind of people who are also watching this podcast?
Porn is not real. What you see in porn is there's a lot of makeup, there's a lot of CGI, there's a lot of after effects that go into it. And there is a lot of pre and post work. For example, a lot of people say that people in porn never use condoms. How is that? And why are you talking about using condoms? If porn stars who have multiple partners, if they're not using it, why the hell should I? Which is where the point of testing comes in. They're always tested before a shoot. So they go through invasive testing. They have multiple procedures in place to make sure STIs don't spread. So your body also doesn't look like what you see in porn. And because of that, a lot of us feel insecure about how we look, insecure about how your penis looks, insecure about how pigmented you are, insecure about the size, insecure about sagging in certain parts. It's very normal. It's extremely normal to have those variations in our bodies because we're not using that CGI and that makeup in real life. And nobody lasts that long. So porn is, if it works for you, sure, but it's mostly a big fat lie. And the second thing is that consent is a really, really important conversation that I feel you need to research a lot more and learn about to define exactly what it means to you. and how you contextualize it in your life. But I think consent is a conversation we all need to learn more about and figure out our boundaries because of the cultural context where we live in India. A lot of things that normally require consent we don't have. For example, बच्चा घर में कोई अंकल आए हैं, बच्चा होगा तो उसको बोलेंगे बेटा अंकल को गले मिल के आओ. For somebody else, they might not feel comfortable doing that. अंकल को किसी करके आओ, उनको ले गाना गाओ. So that is also a consent conversation. Is that, are you consenting to it? Are you allowing your body to be touched in that way? Which makes it difficult in our cultural context. So everybody needs to learn more about consent is another thing. And if possible, if you can afford that, please get the HPV vaccine, especially if you're a woman or you have a vulva and vagina. The HPV vaccine is the only vaccine in the world that can prevent cancer. And you're preventing cancer with one shot. I mean, okay, 3 shots. Get it. It's as simple as that. It's not that expensive. It costs 2,000 rupees per dose and it's spread over a period of 8 months. So if you save up, if you're finding that difficult to finance, if you save up, you can get it. But it's a sure shot way of preventing cancer. More than 90% of cervical cancers are linked with the HPV virus. So please get it.
What I found really interesting in this answer is the Indian household gale lag lo, ya fir, people pick up kids and not kids like 3-4-year-old kids but like 10-11-year-old kids. What are some of these common instances that you see where you should ask for consent but nobody really does because it's normalized?
A really interesting thing that my husband does is he wears a wristband that says okay with hugs and fist bumps, because that's the extent. He doesn't want to shake hands because it's COVID time. You can do a fist bump, sanitize this part of your hand, you're sorted. And it's explicitly stating his consent. So a thing that happens very, very commonly that we've already discussed is ki beta auntie ko gale milo, auntie ko kissi do, and things like that, which is where you can ask them. You can, if there's a really cute child with like chipmunk cheeks, 1 second नहीं रुकेगा इंसान, सीधे जाके ऐसे खींच लेगा. So that's something you can ask. Can I touch your cheek? It's very cute and fluffy. And that also really empowers the child there because they're getting to make a decision. And बच्चों को कोई decision नहीं लेने देता है यार, उनको एक decision में इतनी खुशी होती है. So it's empowering for them in that way that makes them happy, but it also teaches them that it's okay and it should be normal for somebody to ask your consent before doing this. So before touching anybody, before touching anybody's hair, their clothes, कितनी बार शादियों में after I got married साड़ी वाड़ी बहुत पहननी पड़ी थी. कोई भी आके मेरी साड़ी छू के अरे बेटा बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है साड़ी. अरे तुम पूछ लो यार छूने से पहले क्या दिक्कत है. So before you get into somebody's physical space, ask them.
Wow, I think a funny instance of this, and I shouldn't be talking about funny instances, but लोग बाल ऐसे कर देते हैं जो मतलब all the elders in my family like it is so irritating. Oh my god, it irritates the hell out of me. It's crazy.
I have curly hair, तो कोई भी आके अरे तेरे बाल तो स्प्रिंग की तरह है, तेरे बाल तो मैगी की तरह है, तो छू के मत बोलो यार, दूर से बता दो मेरे को, वही मैसेज मिलेगा.
Wow. यार बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है बात करने में. मुझे I think I want to end this conversation with a rather abstract question, and I think I love knowing लोगों के whys. क्यों उठना है हर रोज़ और एक गोल की तरफ भागना है? That goal could be you writing a book, or you deciding that today I want to move to the US, or you deciding that I want to help my parents or the world with better sex education. What's your why? मतलब क्यों करना है?
Have you had that thing where you've just been in bed up until 2 in the morning thinking मेरे को इतना privilege क्यों मिला है? मैं क्यों इस घर में पैदा हुई? मेरे को क्यों ऐसे माँ बाप मिले जो मेरी पढ़ाई फाइनेंस करते हैं? मेरे को क्यों ऐसे माँ बाप मिले जो मेरे को सब कुछ करने को परमिट करते हैं? मेरे को इतना अच्छा पार्टनर क्यों मिला? मैं एबल बॉडीड क्यों हूँ? मैं सिसजेंडर्ड क्यों हूँ? मैं अपर कास्ट क्यों हूँ? मैंने कौन से तीर मारे हैं भैया? मेरे को क्यों मिला है और काफी लोगों को क्यों नहीं मिला है? So the privilege conversation is something I keep having with myself very often, to check in with myself कि क्यों भैया ऐसा क्यों हुआ है, and what can I do to use this privilege and help people who don't have this privilege. So I think that's a really big motivating force in my life, because I feel like there's some karmic balance I need to settle that give back to the world that has given you so much, so much. And this is a conversation that the kind of content I create is a conversation that we don't get to have with people. If we do have it, most often it is not qualified or scientifically literate information, and it is full of a lot of superstitions, and it really impacts the life of other people.
Right.
So if I have the scientific literacy, if I have the actual legitimate education, and as a doctor, it's my duty to work towards public health. And then I also need to settle my karmic balance. Bhaiya, kyun mila hai mujhe itna? So that's what makes me get out of bed. I genuinely really want to do something decent for the world. And this is a very, very small drop into the ocean of good stuff we need to do. And I also do a lot of really shitty stuff. So this is why I do what I do.
यार आप ना बहुत ऑनेस्ट हो, बहुत डायरेक्ट हो, और इतना मज़ा आया ना मुझे इस कॉन्वर्जेशन में, मतलब क्योंकि ना यू डोंट मिन्स योर वर्ड्स, विच इज़ very rare to find, especially when you're talking on this is like a public platform eventually. And itna acha lag raha mujhe. It didn't feel like that I was here to sit in a formal way, but it felt so good to just it felt like how I talk to my sisters. And for context for the audience, like all of my sisters are doctors, and it felt exactly like that. So thank you for making me feel comfortable. Usually I am the one who's trying to make the other person comfortable. It was really, really nice having you on the podcast. And before we move to the rapid fire, I just want to say thank you for just being so cool about things.
Thanks so much for having me. It was really, really fun. Now, let's do it.
Yes, there is a quick rapid fire round, which is me trying to become Karan Johar in my own small world. Super. Okay, so I'm very, very serious about rapid fire. Like 2 seconds and you have to answer. Otherwise, I still haven't coffee, no hamper. So no hamper, nothing of that sort. But I'm just like serious about it. I'm just iffy about like answering in time. Okay, take it.
Let's
Super.
go.
What is that one creator that inspires you? You're losing on the first question. This was supposed to be a rapid
There's
fire.
so many, I can't tell you. There's so many.
The first one that comes to your mind.
The first one, Dr. Lee.
Nice.
There's a dermatologist who talks about skin health.
Super. One that irritates you.
I will keep my mouth shut now. Not that much honesty.
Achha, one that you don't like. Let's make it slightly more diplomatic. You don't like consuming their content.
So there is a YouTuber who used to be an engineer and who knows nothing about health or has no qualifications in health, who talks a lot about how to cure your PCOS, and he makes me very, very angry. There is a lot of other content creators who have zero qualifications, who have a background in, I don't know, history and English, and then they come and tell you about how to shave your pubes or how to cure your acne and how masturbation is bad for you. So yeah, lots of them. I'm being very polite.
I'm already like, I know these 3 creators that you're talking about. But I'm not gonna, this is not a controversial show. This is purely, Asha, what's your guilty pleasure?
I don't know. I don't believe in the term guilty pleasure.
Okay.
I think pleasure is pleasure. Yaar, maza aa raha hai, karo, sharam kyun aa rahi hai?
Okay. ठीक है, what's your go-to pleasure? Like, is it wine on a Saturday night with a good movie? What is it?
I'm not a movie watcher, so it's definitely either a book or a nice podcast and just chilling and not doing anything. Really enjoy that.
Nice. What is that one thing that you really love about your job? And what is that one thing that you don't like about your job at all? And this job is you being a doctor first.
So as a doctor, what I really love in my job is that I get to interact with so many people and learn about so many different backgrounds in their lives, because you really get to learn a lot more about people's lives when you get into their history. What I don't like is the violence that comes with it, particularly in our country. Doctors are beaten up very, very quickly. कुछ भी गड़बड़ हुआ, पटापट पटापट शुरू हो जाएंगे. So that makes me very angry. As a content creator, what I like is that I have a huge platform to talk about things that are important, and I get to do that. What I don't like is the trolling. दोनों जगह सेम बात है यार. पॉजिटिव बात ये है कि लोगों से बहुत इंटरेक्ट करने मिलता है, और नेगेटिव बात ये है कि वायलेंस होती है. वो वायलेंस एक्चुअल मारपिटाई में हो, या ट्रोलिंग में हो, या डिक पिक्स में हो, या गाली देने में हो. So yeah.
Let's focus more towards like a kinder, not just internet, but like a kinder world. That should be the takeaway. मुझे जानना है, since you're big on reading, what's that one book that changed your life? मतलब बहुत ये book पढ़ के तो ऐसे कुछ अलग ही epiphany होगी.
There's two books. The first is the Princess Diaries series by Meg Cabot. It sounds like it's a fluffy princess book, but it's actually not. This is the one book that taught me about feminism, about environmentalism, about politics, about geopolitics, and everything. It made me want to become a mature, well-read human being. And the second is A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. And this book is a short history of everything. I kid you not.
Quite literally the name of the book.
Yes.
Okay. Before we end this, one life mantra of Dr. Tanya, जो कि मतलब if you could just repeat this one line, 3-4 words, what would that be?
I think दुनिया में आग लगती रहेगी यार. कुछ भी करो, दुनिया में बहुत आग लगती रहेगी. अपना चिल रहो. बहुत टेंशन है लाइफ में.
Okay, fair point. कुछ बोलना है आपको to the audience before we like wrap this up?
Use condoms. Condoms and dental dams are required when you're having oral sex. Eye pills are not regular contraception. If you're having problems with your periods, go to your doctor. घर पे मेथी खाने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Get vaccinated against HPV.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for saying yes to this conversation. बहुत मज़ा आया. I had so much fun. मुझे इतना ज़्यादा मज़ा आया बात करके. मन नहीं कर रहा मेरा वैसे ख़त्म करने का है. But I know that your time is very, very valuable, and I don't want to be, मतलब I don't want to be the excuse which like editor को बोल रहे हो, oh I was talking to Ayush for like 90 minutes. This is why I'm late on the deadline. I don't want to be that guy. But
this is the excuse I'm going to use next time. Why am I behind in submitting the 35 chapters I'm supposed to submit? अरे मैंने 60 मिनट का podcast 90 मिनट में किया इसलिए. No, but thank you. It was genuinely super, super fun, and thank you for your very insightful questions, and I had a great time.
Me too. Thank you so much, and for the audience, do follow Tanya. Although छोटी मुँह बड़ी बात, वहाँ से इधर लोग आने वाले हैं. But for everybody who watched this, I hope you liked this episode, and it was so much fun hosting you on this show. Thank you.